The EPA has known for years that PFAS chemicals are hazardous to human health and the environment, yet industrial giants 3M and DuPont managed to flood our drinking waterways with that product and that toxin. Joining me to talk about this is attorney Madeline Penley. You know, Madeline, what strikes me is I look at this fella right here, probably a 3M employee. He's in a Tyvek suit, got gloves on, he's got a mask on. He is set to where if this stuff gets on him, he can save himself.
Right.
You know what the ugly part of it is? This is the same stuff they're putting in our drinking water.
Exactly. He's decked out to protect himself, but when it comes to the rest of us, the firefighters that use this stuff, the people who get it in their drinking water, we're not protected at all. And so to back up a little bit, that term PFAS that you mentioned, that actually encompasses a class of thousands of different dangerous chemicals, as you know. So in particular, we're going to be talking about C8 and those chemicals. Also very dangerous. Interestingly, despite being so dangerous, they were used in a ton of different consumer products like Teflon, you're familiar with that, Scotchgard, and most recently, what's called AFFF, or firefighting foam, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, what we found in the trial that I tried up in Ohio was that they had tons of experiments to show that it would cause cancer, it would cause birth defects, it would cause a whole line of health problems that they didn't tell the public. Now, here's what's important. It's in your drinking water now.
Exactly.
More than likely, if you're in a big urban area, this is in your drinking water. There is no safe level. They say, oh, well, you know, there is no safe level. Right?
So they have studies, both 3M and DuPont, going back to the 1950s, saying that this stuff, one, builds up in your blood. You know, once it's there, it stays there. They have studies in the 60s classifying it as a toxin in their internal documents. Didn't tell anybody that. In the 70s, they learned it continues to build in your blood. In the 80s, they went so far as to remove their female employees from the factories because they learned that PFAS exposure could harm their unborn children and, like you said, cause very serious birth defects. And even in the 90s, they learned that their employees were more at risk for cancer development and death than the general population, but they didn't tell anybody.
Well, now, DuPont is the case that I tried in Ohio, and the information they had in their files was something they kept secret.
Right.
You know, and now we're just catching up. If you were to talk to 10 people and you were to say, what do you know about PFOS or PFAS, they don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
So the biggest delivery system right now is through, as you point out, AFFF firefighting material, right?
Yes. And so the way that works, it's what you think about they use to put out fires in aircraft fires, usually very large, very hot, oil-based fires. You spray the foam on there, it deprives the flame of oxygen, and it does work much more quickly than water would. And so 3M, to kind of launch this product, had to get a little bit creative, did two main things. One, they pitched this product to the Air Force at a very vulnerable time for our military branches. We had recently had several very tragic events where we lost service members due to flames we were not able to put out in time. In comes 3M with their miracle product. You know, the Air Force picks it up and they start using it all over the country, you know, contaminating water all over the country because they didn't know this was dangerous. The other thing they did was they sold it to airports, just your everyday commercial airports. And they actually helped create a regulation that required airports to purchase this type of foam. So they created a regulation that would ensure there's a market for their product. Again, didn't tell the airports how to properly clean this stuff up or what it could do to the people who are using it and that are exposed to it.
Yeah, the ugly part about it is, and you know, we're going to be at some point, well, look, to understand it, all you have to do is watch the movie The Devil We Know.
Right.
It's on Netflix. It'll tell you everything you want about it. There's really nothing secretive about this right now. All of the facts are out there. They came out in the DuPont case that we tried up in Ohio. But nevertheless, people don't know about it. There's another great movie, you know, it's called Dark Waters. But the Netflix movie, you can just go to Netflix and the Devil We Know will tell you the whole story. So my point is, there are no secrets. I mean, everything we're talking about is in the public domain right now. We can't talk about what's not in the public domain, but there's so much out there that people can look at and understand, but they have to educate themselves, don't they, about how dangerous this is?
They do, and they have to learn what products this stuff is in. It's not enough to know that just, you know, the term PFAS means it's dangerous. What all does that encompass? What all products are exposed to that. A lot of people didn't know that fast food packaging contains variations of PFAS. You know, the food is soaking in it and then it goes into your body and you absorb it. And I don't think people know that it's in our drinking water due to things like firefighting foam.
You know what's remarkable? 3M put all this product on the market. You know what they're selling now? They're selling a home filter system for $6,000 that you can buy to get their stuff out of your drinking water so you can feel safe about your children taking showers and drinking this stuff every day. They're actually making money now by selling the solution. In about $6,000 you can add it to your home.
Right.
They want you to pay for it, though.
For the problem that they caused, exactly.
Right. So I guess where this lands right now is there's litigation pending. As the litigation progresses, when it's over, the whole story will be told. It's a startling story. It's a remarkable story. But at least The Devil We Know on Netflix begins to tell the story a little bit.
It does.
Thank you for joining me, okay?
Thank you.